Law enforcement searching right now for 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery.
7-year-old girl is reported missing to police on Friday, but it comes 2 years after she was last seen in a small New Hampshire town. Authorities now pleading with the public, including here on social media, to help share out pictures of missing 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery.
This is 12 News Now. I'm Adriana Roses Rivera. New Hampshire officials say that the disappearance of 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery back in 2019 is now being investigated as
a homicide.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Roadside Show. Today we are in Manchester, New Hampshire, and we are going to talk about the story of Harmony Montgomery. Now, first, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe notification and the bell icon so you can get updated on when we post new videos. Also, right here is going to be a link to our other videos if you're interested. If you like horror, creepy, bizarre, anything along those lines, we cover it. So guys, let's get into today's story.
Beautiful Harmony Montgomery was born June 7, 2014 to Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery. She was born blind in one of her eyes, but had a sassy and bright personality despite her disability and challenges that she faced within her short life. Her parents faced drug addictions, which led Harmony and her brother Jameson being placed into foster care around July of 2018. Jameson was eventually adopted by Blair Miller and his husband Jonathan. Her father Adam has many previous criminal charges such as burglary, stalking, and first-degree assault in 2007. He was also charged in 2014 in relation to an armed robbery, assault with intent to murder, along with many drug-related charges. Unfortunately, Adam was eventually awarded full custody of Harmony by a Massachusetts judge. When her mom, Crystal, got sober, she searched for Harmony starting May or June of 2019. Crystal claims she made 27 calls to DCF and DCYF between Massachusetts and New Hampshire to locate Harmony, only to find out Adam was awarded full custody. In her own words, quote, "I told DCYF a million times this wasn't a good idea," end quote. Crystal feels Adam got custody to spite her. In November 18th of 2021, Crystal called Manchester police and told them she had not seen Harmony since April of 2019 on a FaceTime call, which from her perspective, Harmony seemed very scared and wasn't her normal, bubbly self. Adam stopped her visits 3 days before Easter of 2019. Massachusetts DCF was supposed to do a transition plan once Harmony was placed with Adam as protocol, but that never happened. Adam and his new wife Kayla were living in a house on Guilford Street at this time. They were eventually evicted on November 27th of 2019, but refused to leave and were squatting in the home. The home had no running water or electricity. Trash was present everywhere, and Adam and Kayla Montgomery were using gas-powered generators to run certain appliances in the home. Neighbors made multiple reports to Manchester police that they would hear Adam and Kayla shouting at each other at 3 a.m. in the morning. It is unknown whether the police knew that they were living unlawfully in that home. In the DCYF New Hampshire audit, there were no reports of any of the police calls, the trash present in the home, or drug paraphernalia. DCYF closed their file with no further follow-up. Adam's uncle Kevin requested a police escort to gather the rest of his belongings on October 19, 2019. Police stated that they had seen Harmony in the home. 2 years later, when they would open her missing persons case, they would use this as the date of Harmony's last official sighting. Adam, Kayla, and their children had nowhere else to go and were living in 2 cars on Harville Street. Okay guys, so now we are at the location of Harville Street, and where Kayla and Adam Montgomery were evicted from their home, them two and their children were living in their vehicles on this street somewhere.
In this general area.
The exact spot, we don't know, but
we were talking to a police officer who was parked right down this way, and he said this is confirmed the street, but not sure the location their car where they were living out of was.
Right.
And we're parked right there, so they could have been parked in here, or there's a pull-off, where is it, right there, where they could have pulled in, spent the night in their vehicles, whatever. And there's a playground over this way, so they could have, let the kids play. Who knows?
But all we know is that the cops found them somewhere on this road, and when the story broke, I couldn't shake the fact that Harmony looked so much like our Evie girl. And it just resonated with us so much, because when you hear of children going missing or hurt or murdered, it's the innocence of the child. No child deserves to be in that situation, and they need to be cared for and nurtured and loved and taken care of to feel safe. And I can't imagine how this poor baby felt. And we're doing this video, and not only in her memory, but to raise awareness of, this happens all the time, all over the world, and it's not okay.
And being that we live in New Hampshire, it's something that it kind of hits home to you. And she does resemble, Harmony does resemble our daughter. So we did want to cover this story, and the fact that she's still missing to this day is what really breaks my heart. Everything breaks my heart about her story, but the fact that she wasn't found and she hasn't had a proper burial or anything like that.
December 30th, 2021, Detective Chris Abel made contact with Adam's brother Michael. Michael told the detective that he had suspicions that Adam was abusing Harmony. He had seen her with a black eye. Michael then directed Detective Abel to Adam's uncle Kevin, who said he hasn't seen Harmony since late 2019. Kevin stated that he had visited Adam after returning home from his trip to Florida and saw the black eye on Harmony's face. Kevin asked what happened, and Adam said, "I gave her the job to watch her brother Jameson and heard him cry. I went out and saw Harmony holding her hand over his mouth to stop him from crying." Kevin said, quote, "He bashed her around the house," end quote. It was also said that he disciplined Harmony by spanking her really hard on the rear end and having her stand in the corner for hours at a time. They even forced Harmony to clean the bathroom with her toothbrush. When Kevin saw her, he said she looked like a scared little puppy. Kayla was questioned, and she said she hasn't seen Harmony since November of 2019, before she left for work. Adam supposedly said to Kayla that he took Harmony to her biological mother, Crystal. Crystal denied that Adam had taken Harmony to her, and this is where the story gets perplexed. At some point, Adam left Kayla to be with a new woman in the state of Maine. As of this video, Adam is in jail being charged for second-degree murder, among many other charges. Harmony's body hasn't been recovered and the investigation is still ongoing.
Park in Manchester Saturday to keep Harmony Montgomery's name on the minds of people across New England.
Whole point in all this is I want her to know she's loved and we're out here for her, even in the coldest weather, you know.
So on October 24th of 2022, Adam Montgomery, Harmony's father, was officially charged with second-degree murder. Now today, here we are at Stark Park in Manchester, New Hampshire, and this is where they had a send-off vigil for Harmony Montgomery, and I believe that date was October 30th of 2022, so just 2 weeks ago. And knowing that the community came together for this precious little girl, you know, this was not the outcome when the story first broke that we all wanted. You know, we wanted her to be found safe, and unfortunately that was not the case. And hopefully within time, you know, more details will come out about this whole ordeal. And for me, all I can do is pray for Harmony's family, that they find peace and that they can really lean on God through these trying times, because I can't imagine how her family is feeling.
So now we're just enjoying the scenery here at Stark Park. Unless you're from Boston, you say Stark Park. And it's a beautiful park here. I can see why they would choose this location to do a vigil or a candlelight or a send-off, whatever you want to do. It's huge. It's a big park. Lots of children with their families playing around. And right behind me is a general, and this is his grave. He was from the Revolutionary War. It's old. It's pretty cool. I've never been to this park before. And there's a statue of the general on the horse right there. Pretty cool. There's little flies. They're flying everywhere right now.
They're like gnats.
Little gnats. And they're going in my mouth. I'm not even hungry. There's a trail that you can walk and, you know, go on like a nice little hike. Bring your dog. Have a good time. So hopefully, you know, something comes of this. Hopefully Adam spills the beans and just comes out and completely confesses, or Kayla, and completely confesses to the crime that we all know they committed.
Maybe Kayla didn't necessarily do anything, but
She's a witness to it.
she's a witness to it.
If she's not guilty of anything.
Right.
Um,
It's all hearsay. We don't know anything until law enforcement does another press release. So we only know what they say.
she still deserves justice, regardless, because every single person, regardless, deserves a proper burial. What are you trying to sneak in? Just trying to sneak in. Deserves a proper burial and a proper ceremony with their family, a proper goodbye.
Yeah.
You know, no child should ever have to say goodbye to their parents, you know, but that's just sometimes the way it is.
Christina? Yeah, David, investigators say they're going to be at this Union Street location well into the night. Just want to show you what's still going on here behind me. Several police cars and investigative units. That green tent you can see is just being used for privacy because so many neighbors are here to watch and see what's going on. They pulled a box truck's worth of evidence earlier this afternoon, but the investigators are asking the public not to jump to conclusions. Removing this sewer top to allow a camera underground was the most recent visible move by FBI and Manchester investigators as they spend all day collecting evidence in the search for Harmony Montgomery.
You know, Jenna wanted to be a part of this section of the episode, I guess you would say. She wanted to be here, but she's waiting in the car just up ahead. She couldn't find herself to do it. She was in tears. And she can get a good look at this memorial that they have set up for her. And she just couldn't bring herself to come over here. She was in shambles. But I believe that's the porch they were taking evidence down from.
So, as of right now, Adam is being charged with second-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with witnesses. In recent weeks, Kayla Montgomery entered a plea deal, and she...
With law enforcement.
With law enforcement, correct. And she is serving 1.5 years in prison due to perjury from lying to the grand jury. Now,
and welfare fraud.
And, well, she was originally arrested for welfare fraud. So there are a couple of questions that Dale and I have regarding this case, and obviously it's still ongoing, so these questions won't be answered until, you know, law enforcement finds out these answers. So for Adam to be charged with second-degree murder, there was biological evidence found
in a refrigerator. On Union Street.
On Union Street. But where that timeline fits into when Harmony went missing to them living there,
we don't know.
We don't know the timeline of how that happened. So,
and we're trying to piece this together for you guys, and we've been trying to, and it's very hard.
Very, very difficult.
If you do the research on Harmony Montgomery and you try to tie, there is a lot of questions, you know, but in the outcome, my personal opinion is I do think Harmony is no longer with us. I do think Adam may have murdered Harmony.
And
how? I don't know.
We won't know until law enforcement announces or if somebody talks. So the other piece of information is she's still technically missing. Even if there is biological evidence of murder, there is still no body. So with that being said,
hopefully something comes of this case, you know, and we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
And you know, post about
follow-up.
We will do a follow-up
with more information as they are released. But as of right now, you know, this is what we have. This is what we were able to put together. And if anybody watching this video has any information, there is a hotline that you can call. That's
and I'm going to post the hotline right at the end of this video. So if you have any information, please reach out to that number and call them.
no information's too little or too small. Somebody's got to talk, and somebody's got to know where this precious girl is.
Guys, that being said, stay spooky and peace.